It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Wednesday, the 21st of September. I'm Michael Groff. The clouds have increased. We've seen a few showers and thunderstorms around earlier this morning. Some showers and storms redeveloping as we speak, mainly over western Maricopa County and points to the north of us. And we'll see those showers and storms on the increase through the day today and into tonight. Some of those could put down some locally heavy rain. We can't even rule out a strong storm or two. Best part is temperatures below average today and tomorrow, but we return to dry conditions. What we like to call that post-monsoonal or secondary dry season looks to really set up shop here by this weekend and through much of next week. But there are wrinkles in the forecast, and as if that's not enough, the tropics are getting active as well. So let's dive in and talk about it. First, we'll take a look at that almanac from yesterday. Not too terribly bad. 97 degrees was the afternoon high, 81 the morning low. We picked up a trace of rain officially at Sky Harbor yesterday. We've had a trace this morning as well. And hey, that normal high is now down to 99. The normal low is 77. Looking out there as we speak, just after 9 a.m. We've got, some ominous skies there. Some showers and thunderstorms out again to the west of us, and a couple of showers trying to form over the Southwest Valley right now. And we've got 82 degrees at Sky Harbor. It's very muggy, though. Dew point at 68. Relative humidity, 63%. The winds are light, and the barometer is rising. Temperatures across the area right now, mainly in the mid-70s to low 80s. Of note, 74 degrees out there toward Buckeye. They've had some rain, so some cooler air out that way. And with those humidity levels creeping up, it's going to feel somewhat uncomfortable today, but temperatures, what you're seeing here, only going to warm about 10 degrees or so by this afternoon. Why is all of this happening? Well, the upper air analysis shows a big area of high pressure centered over Texas. We are on the western periphery of that. We're on the eastern flank of a deep upper low that's continuing to sit there on the California coast. It's starting to move inland, though, and as a result, the dynamic support and the deeper moisture will be with us today for those increasing chances of showers and storms. They'll be widespread over the high country and scattered to numerous here over southern Arizona. As a result, look here, we've got a flood watch in effect for most of Arizona. In fact, the shorter list would be to tell you the counties that are not included, and that's Yuma, as well as central and southern Mojave counties. Those are not in the flood watch. Everybody else is. And for us here in Phoenix, that flood watch is through 11 p.m. this evening. For northern Arizona, Coconino, Apache, Navajo counties, they are in the watch until 11 p.m. tomorrow night. Elsewhere, we've got a severe thunderstorm watch over eastern Michigan around Lansing, Ann Arbor, and Detroit. Here's the convective outlook. We've got a risk of severe storms over the central and eastern Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and such. And just to the north of Arizona, with the standard slight risk centered around the Great Salt Lake, and that marginal risk extending northward into the Treasure Valley of Idaho. Now, here in Arizona, we are solidly in the green, and while we don't anticipate organized severe weather, we could see a few pop-up strong or severe storms through the day today, even though the environment is not necessarily the most favorable for that. Can't rule them out either, and we'll explain why in modeling. Now, the tropics. Someone forgot to knock on wood because it had been very quiet for much of the season, and now things really heating up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas of concern on the board in the Atlantic Basin. We've got a wave about to come off the African coast, another one in the eastern Atlantic. Those two features we're not going to worry about. Then we've got Gaston, Fiona, and Invest 98L that's out there approaching the islands. Now, let's talk about, first, we'll get into Fiona here. This is a major hurricane. Top winds 130 miles an hour. And now the next target for it will be Bermuda. It's going to pass very close to that island as a Category 3 or 4. And then it will move northeast and then turn more toward the north and affect the Canadian Maritimes as a post-tropical system. They could see some winds of 80 to 100 miles an hour in eastern Nova Scotia. And while that's unusual, it's certainly not unheard of to see these tropical systems race up there and become post-tropical and drop some extremely heavy rain and strong winds. We've got Gaston. This thing is not going to affect anybody. It's sitting out there over the North Atlantic. It will become post-tropical and just sort of spin around, toilet bowl out there for a while before fading out. The system that is going to draw the attention and a lot of gnashing of teeth and whatnot from meteorologists everywhere is this guy, Invest 98L. Now, this is out there, again, approaching the Caribbean. And I want to emphasize, this isn't even on the board yet, okay? This is not a tropical depression, not a tropical storm. It's an invest. We haven't even sent hurricane reconnaissance down there yet. That'll be this evening around, I think, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We'll have a view of this, a better idea of where this is. It's still a fairly disorganized system. But the tropical models picking up on this, developing it, moving it into the Caribbean, many of them making a turn more toward the northwest or north once it gets west of Jamaica, either taking it up through Cuba and into the Florida Peninsula. Some take it further west up the Yucatan Channel. Whatever the case, these are the tropical models. And then the GFS ensemble, pretty good model agreement here. Again, the ensemble mean the black line, and taking this up into the Western Caribbean, then moving it north at some point. Some taking it into the Eastern Gulf, some up toward the Florida Peninsula, some curving it a little further east, a little bit sooner. But either way, this system is going to be one that we will be watching for a while. But I want to emphasize, and it's very important that we stress, this has not even formed yet. Okay, and so once we get hurricane reconnaissance in there, we get the data going from that. We send a couple of missions down there. Once this thing develops a more discernible circulation and really forms into a tropical depression and we get better initialization parameters on our models, that's when we're going to have a better idea of where this is going. Again, we just have model data to look at right now. What you're seeing here is nothing more than fantasy, okay? And I know we're going to see a lot of the clickbait from the meteorologists, the wannabe meteorologists, the juniors out there. And you're going to see the yahoos that want to get the clickbaits and the views and everything telling you, major hurricane. And I see this a lot. I've already seen this from a few meteorologists, or quote, unquote, meteorologists. We expect this thing to be somewhere near Fort Myers by 4 a.m. next Friday morning. Now, look, there is no skill in forecasting a tropical system that hasn't even developed a week or 10 days out. It just does not exist. The science in meteorology has come a long way over the last 30 or 40 years, but we do not have the technology, the capability to forecast a load that hasn't even developed yet to a position 10 days out with any sort of accuracy. So something to watch, something that we'll keep an eye on. And if you live in Florida, like 21.5 million people do, a very good chance you either know someone that lives there or you live there yourself. No need to freak out, no need to panic just yet. Just to be prepared as you would always be during tropical season. That's what we're going to watch. And we'll show you a little bit more of deterministic model data here as we run through as well. All right, closer to home. Let's talk about the precipitation outlook here. This is valid through Wednesday morning of next week. Rain amounts here in Phoenix. Look, we could see somewhere close to anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch or so. There could even be a little bit more in some spots because isolated thunderstorms could put down heavy rain in a short amount of time. When we show you this graphic, we always tell you your amount will vary. This represents an average over a given region. And we'll run through modeling right now, see what's going on with this weather pattern in more detail. And to do that, we'll take a look at the GFS. Here we go. It's the 06Z run, and this is valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Players on the board, high pressure to the east. There's that low to the west, a deep southerly flow in place, plenty of tropical moisture streaming northward for us. So what it means down at the surface today, you're already seeing it. Scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms developing. They'll continue to pop up through the day today, moving generally south to north or southwest to northeast. And the deeper moisture sits across central and eastern Arizona. Storms will be widespread in the high country too, and the potential of heavy rain and flooding most problematic up there, but we could see that around here as well today. We bumped that rain chance up to 60%, especially by this afternoon. That's when things are really going to get going. And we'll take a look here at a forecast sounding. This is coming off of the 3-kilometer NAM. This is at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And look, there's parameters here that are coming together for the potential of heavy rain, no doubt. Look at that precipitable water, over 2 inches. Mixing ratios are high. Lapse rates are not so great, but what we are noticing is a little bit of our EHI, Energy Helicity Index, is picking up to around 1 unit here. And so we will have a tiny bit of veering of the wind with altitude, especially in the low levels. The 0 to 6K shear is picking up as well over 30 knots now. And Cape values anywhere from 1 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. So there is instability. There is enough that could concern us for the possibility of a few strong, maybe an isolated severe storm, maybe even a supercell storm And I would say especially to the west of us where they'll get a little bit more sunshine across southwest Arizona today. But even in western or central Maricopa County, that can't be ruled out. So maybe a little bit of hail and some gusty winds. I don't think there's really a tornado threat. I guess there's always a tornado threat in this kind of a setup, but it is so minimal that we're not even going to discuss that. So really the primary concern from storms today because of the wet low levels will really be the heavy rain and local flooding. So we'll talk about that in more detail here. That's what we're focused on. And that's going to continue into tonight. Chance of showers and storms, locally heavy rain possible again with precipitable water just up at that high a level. Any storm will be capable of that. And then lows tonight will mainly be in the 70s. And then tomorrow, things are going to start to calm down. Yeah, chance of showers and storms in the morning, isolated storms in the afternoon, but that low is lifting out across the Great Basin. It'll pass well to the north of us, and with it, the deeper moisture will be moving away. So high temperatures tomorrow, mid-90s. Hey, look, we're not going to be bad the next couple of days. Upper 80s, low 90s today, mid-90s tomorrow. Can't beat that. By Friday, we start to dry out. Isolated storms, though, still possible in the eastern mountains. For us, highs upper 90s to about 100. Saturday, the weekend looking mostly clear. High temperatures, mid 90s to around 100. We'll warm it up around 100 to 104 for Sunday, Monday, and even into Tuesday. Now, curiously enough, the GFS is starting to bring some moisture back into southern Arizona. And we have seen this trend over the last few runs and even showing some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms developing. I'm not buying into that just yet, especially conceptually speaking. The ridge is going to build back, but it's going to be centered well to the west of us, along or even off the California coast. And that's just not a good position to bring any moisture in here. But model trends continue to suggest some moisture. We'll keep an eye on that. Now is a week from today. This is Wednesday, the 28th of September. And again, the ridge is well to the west of us. I just don't see a scenario where deep moisture gets advected in here. I suppose could see a little bit of northern Mexico, though. And look at that. There's our tropical system, our Invest 98L. If it should develop, pretty high chance it does, it would get the name Hermine. So you would see whatever it would be, Hermine out there over the eastern Gulf. Here in Arizona, again, a few showers and storms. Not buying into that solution just yet. Hermine out there west of the Florida Peninsula. Okay, again, this is next Wednesday afternoon. This is just one model run, though. Again, cautioning you that. We've seen it pretty consistently shown out here in the Eastern Gulf on the GFS and even on the Euro, but again, just one model run. All right. Let's go out 10 days. This is Friday, the 30th of September, the last day of the month. Where has the time gone? We still have high pressure as the dominant feature here. And still the GFS says widely scattered showers and storms around for the middle and latter part of next week. Again, not really ready to buy into that solution, synoptically speaking. And then whatever's left of that tropical system, Hermine, the GFS says it's up in northeast Georgia, moving into the Carolinas with heavy rain and gusty winds. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix going out through the 5th of October. And this is coming off of the GFS ensemble. The mean is up there pretty close to an inch. That's a little bullish in my opinion. But still, we will no doubt see some locally heavy rain in spots. And I have no doubt that some locations will see that. We've already seen some very heavy rain to the west of Phoenix this morning. Out near Buckeye and just west of there, prompting a couple of flash flood warnings. We still have a warning ongoing right now as I speak west of Phoenix. So, yeah, of course, heavy rain will be possible. Will it happen directly at Sky Harbor Airport where the official rain gauge is kept? Well, that is debatable. And then looking at temperatures off the national blend of models, and the warm-up is coming as that drier air comes in and high pressure builds in. Highs will go above average. Keep in mind, the normal high here in late September drops into the mid-90s by the end of the month, and we'll have temperatures 100 to 104 on most days, overnight lows in the 70s to near 80 in the mid-city, upper 60s, low 70s in the cooler valley locations. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. If you happen to enjoy these videos, and of course you do, why else would you be watching if you don't? Then go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button, smash that like button, and leave your comments, questions, suggestions, share the video, do all that stuff that we YouTubers say to do. And music fans, check it out. My streaming station available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music. We have a lot of fun with that. Myself and the one and only Michelle, the Asian sensation herself, the operations manager of that whole shebang. We make sure that it's sounding great. And you get to hear our voices over there. So what could be better? I'm going to leave a link to that in the description, as I always do. So do yourself a favor. Check it out. All right. Thank you so much for watching. All of your continued support. It is greatly appreciated. Hello to everyone in our live chat that's sitting right over there. I am terrible at pointing at it because it's backwards in the camera and I'm still not used to this whole live setup. So, and it's an ominous sky behind me. This is a live look, by the way, back here. This is the looking northward from downtown. So kind of an interesting look out there this morning. All right, you guys be safe. Stay cool and have yourselves, and enjoy the rain where you can find it. I'll be out there dancing in it for sure if we can actually get some raindrops out here at Studio B. And have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Wednesday.